Thank you for watching News 12 The Bronx, as local news gets. I'm Dave Roush. And police have arrested a homeless man accused of sexually mutilating another man and leaving him to die in a bathtub. News 12 The Bronx reporter Amy Rodriguez has more on the ongoing investigation.
A proud and smiling man walked out of the 44th precinct in handcuffs.
I said, Ray, meet the phone, what's up?
Dropping names but not giving any explanation to his alleged actions. According to police, 32-year-old Jerry Pagan killed a 68-year-old man he had a past relationship with.
It's really sad. It's depressing. It really is.
Authorities say the 32-year-old man confronted his victim about an intense sexual encounter the two had a week prior. During Pagan's visit at the Sheridan Avenue apartment, investigators say he beat the unidentified man over the head with a hammer, stabbed him with a pair of scissors, and severed his penis with a razor. He sliced him up and left him in the bathtub. Police say Pagan stayed in the apartment after the incident was over and was found with the body by a friend of the victim. Neighbors were shocked to hear of the gruesome incident.
I'm very upset that this happened in this building like that, you know, to this man, because he never did nothing to nobody.
I don't know nothing about her lifestyle, but I know he's a good guy.
Pagan, who has several priors and has served time in prison, is now facing murder charges. The identity of the victim is pending family notification. Amy Rodriguez reporting for News 12 The Bronx.
And time now for a hyperlocal check of your weather forecast.
I'm meteorologist Kevin Corvo. It has been a beautiful day to end the weekend, but unfortunately we do have some clouds that are coming into the forecast, and those are going to be bringing some rain and possibly some snow. I want to show you the satellite imagery right now. Notice as we went through the day, those the gray area that you see right there, those are the high clouds that are moving in right now. But the big picture, take a look at what is behind the system. We do have some snow back here towards the Great Lakes. We have some rain down here towards the south, and those are making their way towards the northeast. And by tomorrow morning, it is going to be a problem, especially for your commute. Let's put the forecast into motion. At 4 a.m., notice how that rain pushes across New Jersey, across the boroughs as well. And just to the north of the Bronx, that is where we have that rain snow line. If you are making commutes up to the north towards Westchester or out towards Connecticut, it could be a problem. That is going to remain through the morning and the afternoon. It is going to clear up, and then we're going to be seeing another weather system come into play as we go towards Tuesday. That one is also going to be bringing some rain as well. So tonight, temperatures dropping down into the mid-30s up towards the northern part of the Bronx. It could go to maybe even 35 degrees there. And then as we go towards Monday, we are going to be seeing a mostly cloudy day, rain, and of course some flakes in the morning, but temperatures are going to be going up for Norwood to about 46 degrees and City Island to about 47. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, well, there it is. Cooler temperatures tomorrow morning, and then as we go towards Tuesday, the threat of rain is going to be late as well as into Wednesday, but take a look all the way out towards your weekend. By the time we get towards Saturday morning, temperatures are going to be dropping down into the low 30s, possibly even hitting into about 28 degrees.
One firefighter and a Bronx man are both seriously hurt after a fire breaks out at a home on Corsa Avenue. But as News 12 The Bronx reporter Anthony Carlo explains, those were not the only 2 lives in danger.
It was like any other Sunday morning at one home on Corsa Avenue until a Bronx couple got an unexpected wake-up call around 7:45 a.m.
We heard a ring at the doorbell, and it was a guy next door. House was on fire.
And because the homes are connected, the fire that began next door was headed for their house. The couple says their neighbor did not want to wait for the fire department, so he went back in his home to try to put the fire out himself. A near-deadly decision.
He got burned 90% of his body.
But wait, things get worse. The couple says when the fire department arrived, they tried to get the neighbor out of his home, but one of the firefighters wound up falling from a ladder just as he was getting up onto the roof. Now, the next-door neighbor says while firefighters were taking care of their colleague who fell off of the roof, his fiancee, who was a nurse, jumped into action to help the badly burned man who lives in the home where the fire started.
My fiancee also administered CPR to him.
Now the Bronx couple is left with major damage to their home and nowhere to go. And we're told their neighbor is in critical condition at Jacoby Medical Center.
I'm very upset. I got the call out, it's crazy. It doesn't make sense.
But as the fire department investigates the cause of the fire, Taylor tries to stay optimistic.
Everything happens, for reasons.
On Corsa Avenue, Anthony Carlo, News 12 The Bronx.
In news across the country now, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says it will not grant an easement for the Dakota Access oil pipeline in southern North Dakota. Corps spokeswoman Maria Kelly says they will not allow the four-state $3.8 billion pipeline to be built under Lake Oahe, a Missouri River reservoir where construction had been on hold, saying now they will explore other alternatives. That route has been the subject of months of protests by the Standing Rock Sioux tribe and others who've argued that the pipeline threatened a water source and cultural sites. You're watching News 12 The Bronx. Still ahead, a funeral is held for Cuban dictator Fidel Castro, how his brother and people here in the United States are remembering him and his legacy. Welcome back. 12 is on crime now. A man is fighting for his life after being assaulted and stabbed this afternoon. The stabbing happened on East Gun Hill Road and Seymour Avenue around 2 o'clock. Police say the victim was near the 5 train station when someone came up from behind, assaulted him, and stabbed him in the back. That victim was taken to Jacoby Hospital. Police also in need of your help in finding this man. They say entered a mosque in Morrisania and removed an iPhone, credit cards, and other personal items from a victim's jacket during prayer time. This all happened at 3400 3rd Avenue back on November 19th. Police say the suspect appears to be about 38 years old and was last seen wearing a white baseball hat with white sneakers. And the family of this young girl is asking for your help. 17-year-old Madeline Garcia is missing. She was last seen at her home on Gun Hill Road. Her family is concerned because they say Garcia is in need of medication. If you have any information on any of these cases, please give police a call. The number is 1-800-577-TIPS. And for Spanish speakers, that number is 1-888-57-PISTA. Remember, all calls are kept confidential. To the latest now in that deadly warehouse fire in Oakland, California, officials saying the death toll has risen to 30 from a massive fire that tore down a warehouse. The fire department says the fire broke out during an electronic music festival. The building already was under investigation after reports that people were living there illegally. Officials working to find more bodies in parts of the building they haven't searched yet, but the death toll continues to grow as that search goes on. The fire chief says the warehouse was partitioned into several artist studios packed with furniture and mannequins. Authorities say the only way out of the second floor was a makeshift staircase. There were no sprinklers. No word yet on the cause. Authorities also say DNA is needed to help identify bodies, even going so far as to ask some families of those feared dead to preserve DNA evidence like hair or toothbrushes. Meanwhile, last night, the Golden State Warriors holding a moment of silence before their game for those victims of the warehouse fire. The team saying they will donate $50,000 to help families. The Oakland Raiders and A's have also made similar pledges. President-elect Donald Trump's transition to the White House continues this weekend. His surrogates taking to the Sunday morning airwaves to talk about his cabinet picks, while Trump himself spent Sunday morning on Twitter. Vice President-elect Mike Pence listed 5 names who are being considered for Secretary of State, but Donald Trump's short list may be even longer than that, according to his campaign manager, Kellyanne Conway.
It is true that he's brought in the search, and Secretary of State is an incredibly important position for any president to fill. And he has, he's very fortunate to have interest among serious men and women. That list is expanding because at the moment there's not a finite list of finalists, only because he will interview with additional candidates early this week.
Among those names, General David Petraeus, who himself faces scrutiny after being convicted of mishandling classified information. Pence said on Meet the Press, Petraeus is an American hero.
Well, he paid a price for mishandling classified information.
But you don't think that disqualifies him to be Secretary of State?
Well, I think that'll be up to the President-elect. I think the President-elect will weigh that against a backdrop of an extraordinary career in military service, whether it's in the role as Secretary of State or another role in this administration. It'll be the President-elect's decision about the totality of General Petraeus's experience and background.
Meanwhile, the president-elect spent his Sunday morning on Twitter after successfully convincing the Carrier Corporation to keep hundreds of jobs from going to Mexico, tweeting out in part that he plans to reduce taxes and regulations here at home while implementing a strong border and 35% tax on goods sent back into the United States. And President-elect Trump's Twitter habits were the fodder of late-night comedy sketch show Saturday Night Live. Take a look.
Mr. Trump, please stop retweeting all these random real people. You're not getting any work done.
That's not true. I was elected 25 days ago, and already unemployment is at a 9-year low. Millions and millions of people have health care, and Osama bin Laden is dead.
Yes, he is dead. Just like my soul and all of my hair.
He, of course, tweeted this: just tried watching Saturday Night Live. Unwatchable, totally biased, not funny, and the Baldwin impersonation just can't get any worse. Sad, he ended his tweet. And we want to hear from you about the Trump transition and all the other stories you see here. Head over to Facebook and leave us a comment by searching for News 12 The Bronx. You might even see that comment right here on the air. Time now for a check of your hyperlocal weather on the 2's forecast, and we take you to the 7-day where the weekend is always in view, and not really the nicest forecast you could ask for. As you head back to work for your Monday, we have a storm system moving through the area that will be bringing heavy rain with the possibility of a mix of some wintry precipitation. High for your Monday, 46 degrees. Tuesday will start off nice, but both Tuesday and Wednesday evening we'll see the chance for some evening showers. Highs each of those days in the mid-40s. And again on Thursday, more clouds and sun, chance of evening showers, high of 48, and things do cool off by next weekend. We'll see highs only reaching the low 40s. In news around the world now, Cuban dictator Fidel Castro was laid to rest earlier at a private funeral in the city of Santiago. The revolution has its roots in that city, and last night it honored the man Cubans call their commander. After a 4-day trek across the island, Fidel Castro's ashes have returned to the place his revolution first took hold. Along Santiago's main roads, thousands braved sweltering heat to see the procession. Meanwhile, tens of thousands of Cubans and some foreigners showed up for a massive memorial service. The final word on Fidel went to his brother, President Raul Castro, who recounted the fight against imperialism, borrowing a phrase made famous here in the U.S. by President Obama: "Yes, we can."
That's our undefeated Fidel, who calls us with his example and the fact that he demonstrated that yes we could, yes we can, and yes we will.
And while the mood was somber in Cuba, people in Miami's Little Havana took Castro's death as a new call for a free Cuba. Many in the area fled years ago to escape what they say is to escape to a better life with freedoms they would not have had in their home country. You're watching News 12 The Bronx. We'll be right back with more hyper-local headlines, so stay with us. The Bronx has one of the biggest Albanian communities in New York City. Now a group of young Albanians is doing their part to keep their culture alive, one dance at a time. News 12 The Bronx reporter Rena Roy has the story from Morris Park.
You can see it in their faces that to them this is so much more than just a dance.
When you're dancing, you forget everything.
Except one thing, their Albanian pride.
You always have that grateful feeling after you're done with a performance that you are at least contributing to Albania, even though we cannot be there.
And that was the goal when the Epos Dance Ensemble formed in the Bronx last year.
We felt that a group was missing where the Albanian culture really is preserved authentically.
So 24-year-old Geni Joka gathered some friends and made it happen.
We felt that our energy as a young group would be the best to preserve the Albanian culture.
After their day jobs, the dancers practice ancient folk dances from Albania twice a week and perform them at some of the biggest Albanian events in our area. To show off their skills and hold on to their rich heritage.
We don't know where we come from. We are never going to know where we're going. The only way to preserve it is to be close tight as a community and pass it from generation to generation.
From Morris Park, Rena Roy reporting, News 12, The Bronx.
It's that time of year again to start thinking about what to buy your loved ones this holiday season, and the Riverdale Temple held their annual Fair Trade Crafts Fair today. The event aimed to get Bronxites out of the stores and into buying locally handmade items. They featured all kinds of gifts, from jewelry to clothing to ceramics. The fair also holds 3 different crafting events for kids for a full day of family fun.
The Bronx is full of amazing people with extraordinary talents. We've got a pickle man and a cheese man, and we've got jewelers and woodworkers and photographers. It's extraordinary what the amount of talent that's right here in our neighborhood.
And this takes us to our question of the day. We'd like to know, what kind of gifts do you prefer to give for the holidays, handmade or store-bought? You can let us know over on news12.com or at channel 612. Well, the new United Airlines fare policy is getting the attention of one local lawmaker. Senator Chuck Schumer calling out United's new basic economy fare, saying it is too restrictive. The new price option would only allow flyers to bring a small bag that fits under the seat in front of them. Schumer saying all passengers should have use of overhead bins. A United spokeswoman saying flyers who want to bring carry-ons can still pay a higher regular economy price. Around the state now, where officials are taking steps to loosen medical marijuana restrictions to give people more access. Soon, nurse practitioners and physician's assistants will be able to certify patients to receive the drug. There are also plans to add chronic pain to the list of conditions that the drug is used to treat. The state's also considering approving home deliveries of medical marijuana. And the Kennedy Center Honors Gala is today, and it's going to be a bittersweet one for President Obama because it will be his last. Actor Al Pacino, rock band of the Eagles, and gospel singer Mavis Staples are among those who will receive honors at the gala. The annual event, the honors rather, go to performers who influence American culture through the arts. And 12 is on entertainment now. The Bronx's own Prince Royce is releasing a brand new album. Making the announcement yesterday on his Instagram account, the Bronx native says his 5th studio album called Prince Royce 5 will be out on February 10th of next year. His new album making a return to bachata and Spanish sounds with a few surprise features as well. You're watching News 12 The Bronx. Coming up in sports, the last high school football game of the season, and it is huge. Cardinal Hayes playing for the state championship. Those highlights are straight ahead.
I'm meteorologist Kevin Cuervo. It has been a beautiful day to end the weekend, but unfortunately we do have some clouds that are coming into the forecast, and those are going to be bringing some rain and possibly some snow. I want to show you the satellite imagery right now. Notice as we went through the day, those the gray area that you see right there, those are the high clouds that are moving in right now. But the big picture, take a look at what is behind the system. We do have some snow back here towards the Great Lakes. We have some rain down here towards the south, and those are making their way towards the northeast. And by tomorrow morning, it is going to be a problem, especially for your commute. Let's put the forecast into motion. At 4 a.m., notice how that rain pushes across New Jersey, across the boroughs as well. And just to the north of the Bronx, that is where we have that rain-snow line. If you are making commutes up to the north towards Westchester or out towards Connecticut, it could be a problem. That is going to remain through the morning and the afternoon. It is going to clear up, and then we're going to be seeing another weather system come into play as we go towards Tuesday. That one is also going to be bringing some rain as well. So tonight, temperatures dropping down into the mid-30s up towards the northern part of the Bronx. It could go to maybe even 35 degrees there. And then as we go towards Monday, we are going to be seeing a mostly cloudy day, rain, and of course some flakes in the morning, but temperatures are going to be going up for Norwood to about 46 degrees and City Island to about 47. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, well, there it is. Cooler temperatures tomorrow morning, and then as we go towards Tuesday, the threat of rain is going to be late as well as into Wednesday, but take a look all the way out towards your weekend. By the time we get towards Saturday morning, temperatures are going to be dropping down into the low 30s, possibly even hitting into about 28 degrees.
And Kurt's here with a check of sports. And Kurt, a big weekend for high school football.
Yes, it was. A lot of championships decided, including one school right here in the Bronx that a lot of people didn't expect to be in this position. One last high school football game this season. Cardinal Hayes trying to complete the dream season. The Cardinals already won the first Catholic League AAA championship in school history. On Sunday, they set their sights on the state title. This is the News 12 Varsity Report, and Hayes taking on Canisius from Buffalo. A crazy game over at Fordham. Down 12 in the first. Tayshawn Brinson breaks free. He's gone. 32 yards to the house, and that pulls Hayes within 2. Now, both teams trading touchdowns almost every possession in the first half. Here it's Canisius's Kenyatta Houston tumbles into the end zone. Hayes down 4 at the break. Now, second half, not much different. This time, it's Carlos Fernandez. One of 2 scores on the day for him, 27 yards. And it's just a 2-point game again. But Hayes playing catch-up into the fourth quarter. Christian Anderson looking for Elijah Jones, and he's got room. 31-yard score. Hayes takes their first lead, 44-42. Now, they get a stop, but after a late interception from Anderson, Canisius at the 17, and there's Zeke Margaritas. Catches it with just 17 seconds left. That's your game winner. Hayes falls just short, 50-44. News 12 The Bronx's Greg Thompson has more from Fordham.
An absolutely heartbreaking loss. It's about as close as you can come to winning a state championship without actually winning it. But at the end of the day, it's pretty incredible that Hayes was even in this game in the first place, and that seems to be the message that most of the team is taking with them.
Before, nobody would have ever thought about us coming to this game, starting off 0-3. It's just amazing playing in this game.
It would have been nice to top it off with the state championship, but Canisius was a great team, and we just lost in the long run.
It's really tough, but it was a great season. You know, winning the first championship for my school. It was a tough loss today, but I'm so proud of the team.
That's a pretty astounding thing for a little old school in the South Bronx named Cardinal Hayes High School, and that's not where this program's stopping by any stretch of the imagination, but that's where we are right now.
And just 4 years ago, this was a AA program, now AAA champions with a ton of returning talent. There's a good bet they'll be back. As head coach C.J. O'Neill likes to say, one more mountain left to climb. At Fordham, Greg Thompson, News 12, the Bronx Sports.
The joy of victory. What a night last night in Brooklyn for Lehman High School football. The Lions winning their first football championship, vanquishing their rivals Truman in a 30-0 victory for the PSAL Bowl Championship. Lehman running back Carlos Soto racked up 4 touchdowns in the win.
I don't know what to say, but this feels great. Team balled out, we practiced hard, played hard, that's what it boiled down to.
We kept the motivation. Since we beat McKee, we kept the motivation going. We didn't think about nobody else but Truman.
We struggled 2 years ago, and now this year it was, yeah, we're gonna win the football game. So there was a lot of confidence. Winners are gonna win, you know, and that's what the kids wanted to do.
Well, after getting his feet wet in Division I basketball last season, Bronxite DeJour Bowie looked poised for a breakout year with Hofstra, but an injury has derailed the Wings Academy alum's sophomore season. Bowie suffering a serious knee injury last week, and on Sunday, Hofstra announcing he is out for the rest of the season, the guard tearing his ACL and meniscus in his left knee during Tuesday's game at Columbia. Bowie played in 8 games this season, totaling 22 points, ranked second on the team with 17 assists. He is expected to make a full recovery and be ready to go next season. And another tough afternoon for Manhattan men's basketball. The Jaspers lose 84-70. It's their 3rd straight defeat. They're now 2-6 on the season, Dave, so not a good start for them.
All right. Thank you so much, Kurt.
Yep.
Have a good one. I'm Dave Roush, and you're watching News 12 The Bronx. We will be right back in just 2 minutes with more hyper-local headlines, so stay with us.